Welcome to the Audiobook Lovin Podcast, discussing all things audiobooks with the authors that write the stories and the narrators that perform them. Brought to you by Viviana, Enchantress of Books.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Audiobook Lovin Podcast, where we celebrate the storytellers behind the stories. From authors to narrators, we dive into all things romance and the voices that bring them to life. I am your host, Viviana, Enchantress of Books, and today I am chatting with narrator Carmen Seantel. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. I'm so excited to talk to you. It's going to be fun.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So for the listeners who may not know or that may not know who you are or are new to the podcast in general, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you found your way into storytelling and narration and all the fun stuff.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much again for having me. I love that you said, how did I get into storytelling and not like narration? Because it's a bit different, right? I say for storytelling, let's go way back. But I've been loving stories and honestly more reading stories than telling stories my entire life. But I used to, hot take, I used to write a bit. When I was like much, like we're talking elementary school, Carmen was like writing stories and, long lost loves found and adventure stories and stuff. I thought it was really cool. And so I thought I could be a wonderful storyteller and writer. And then I discovered just reading and I discovered authors that I just was extremely devoted and loyal to. And then I discovered their audiobooks. Favorite audiobooks growing up were the Redwall series by Brian Jacques, an author who's British, and he also narrated his own books. He wrote the Redwall series. This guy is a radio personality or radio show host or something, or he was, and he wrote these amazing stories and then he narrated them. And he did it in such a way that one voice across all this series, and we're talking at least a dozen, probably more books, and it's so distinct. You can tell every single character, every single species, because it's like talking mice and talking badgers and stuff. But you could tell if it was a badger or a hare talking. You may not know which one, but you could tell he was so good with his voice. And here I am, 11-year-old, 12-year-old Carmen thinking, this is so cool. I got into listening to the Harry Potter series and listening to Lord of the Rings and listening to a bunch of other books. And I was like, this is awesome. And so fast forward, I won't tell you how many years. And I found out that, wait, people do this? Like, you don't have to be the author and you don't have to be some famous actor and you don't have to be a trained performer to do this. I could do this. And then I did it. So yeah. Now I do it.
You do have that kind of, hey, I'm gonna do it energy about you kind of thing. Yeah, like
yeah,
I'll figure it out.
Yep. And we did. I mean, I will say, I have a friend in the industry. I was following her social media. We were friends in real life. And she was posting on her personal social media about being a narrator. And I was like, wait, I know, I've known you for years. What? And then she explained, no, you don't have to be like a professional actor. You don't have to be like a on stage or with radio experience or the author to narrate books. You can be anybody. And she gave me some resources on how to research it and get into it. And so I researched, and that's really what helped me to feel like, you know what? She can do it. I did some research. I can maybe try.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those where if high school me would have known, I could have gotten a job working either in editing or photography for the book covers and stuff like that, or the graphic design work for the book covers, or I would have done it. And even with narration, I would have gone in there. Instead, we're always told teacher, lawyer, nurse, career, blue collar and stuff like that. And so that's where the route that I went. But, again, high school me would have been nice to know that. And so the fact that you were able to now see it and have it be in fruition, like what, 5-10 years later, for you, it's fantastic. And you have really, so from even like a year and a half ago to 2 years ago, when I first kind of like came across you on socials, it's been really great to kind of see you evolve, and everything from the booth you're set up, but even just you and how you interact in socials and your performance too. I mean, I could just watch you for hours sometimes. I'm going, wait, I was supposed to buy the book. She's kind of doing it already.
Yeah. Hey, I don't do the whole thing usually. Okay. If
Yeah,
it's
no.
muted, if I'm live streaming, you may not hear the whole thing. Still, go get the book. Support.
Yeah, no, I still do.
This is
But
not just for you, girl. This is for everybody.
I know. Yeah.
Everybody.
But also, what I love about the fact that some of you guys are doing that live narration, it gets you curious enough to want to buy the book. And it makes it really like, oh, okay, cool.
Yep. Yep. Or you'll have somebody who's like, man, I missed last night's recording. I wonder what happened. I got to get the book so because I missed those 4 chapters or something.
Yeah. It could be really, really great way of kind of like discovering new things that maybe the book cover would not have enticed you, or the thought behind, the blurb. So that's always a good thing. So what does that creative process now look for you as the voice, the narration, the performance?
Okay, so I would not consider myself to be the most creative person ever. The fact that somebody recently called me oh, you're a creative? Huh? Well, you're in the creative arts. What? Yeah? Oh. I'm like, I am. I guess, yeah, performing, creative. Yeah, I do the thing. And so I didn't realize I had a process. And then recently somebody asked me, well, what's your process for auditions? And I'm like, okay, well, it's kind of the same with everything is you get into the book, you get a sense of the characters, you get a sense of the story, you get a sense of the tone. So the biggest thing I think that I do for my creative process with all of this characters and storyline and tone is the author's intent. What is the author intending to portray through this story? Like, are they wanting to heal something in you or in the reader? Are they healing something in themselves? Are they telling a very important story that has this underlying whatever? Are they telling this very important story that maybe doesn't have anything underlying and is supposed to be lighthearted and make you feel light? And what is the author's intent behind the story? I think that as I read and prep a book, it really helps me to understand what type of creative choices to make if I can really understand the author's intent to the best of my ability. And having that direct line to the author, or having authors who are out there on social media or with newsletters, or even sometimes I'll go through like Goodreads reviews to kind of see what are readers feeling when they read this story, to kind of get a better sense of, oh, okay, so this is heavy, but it's funny. Got it. Got it. The author's intent is to lighten up something very heavy. Got it. So it's really figuring out, where the author is intending to go with that story.
I think it's very important to be able to hear that, because we can always, when we're eyeball reading, we can always maybe go back a page or two if we missed something, or if we were not clearly understanding. We're like, wait, did I miss something? With audio is a little harder because we have to like rewind, and you never get back to the exact same spot you always wanted to go to.
No.
It's always like whoosh, long shot, like damn it. From that perspective, anything else that, as far as so once you have the intent and you're about to get into the booth, is there anything like tease or like warm-ups, or is it just you're just gonna be like,
okay, so now I'm ready. I prepped the book.
Yeah,
Feeling. I have a sense of where I'm going to go with the characters, and it's like, okay, it's time to get this session going. Okay, so this one book. Okay, no, there's a bunch of stuff that I'll do. It depends on the book. This one book that I'm working on right now, I literally listened to the first book in the series as prep, which I've never done that before, but I really wanted to hear how the previous voice actors for the first book in the series voiced the characters that are coming. So that was kind of my prep process. So like now, as I'm getting ready to get in the booth to work on that specific book, I'm listening to, and I've bookmarked key points in that book that have my character's voice in it. So before I get in the booth, I listen to parts of that. This is specific for this one book. I usually have tea, which is my favorite tea is, oh God, it is honey, chamomile, and vanilla. It's from Twinings or Twinings. It is so good, but it's my favorite tea. It's not the tea I use the most. The tea I use the most is Throat Coat because it works, but it's disgusting. I also have started to use these little pastilles called Vocal Zone. They really help with stickiness in the mouth, like if I need it to not be so sticky.
Yeah,
the Vocal Zone really does seem to help. I also have a few different things in here that help with like just the mouth sounds and mouth clicks. I usually make sure that I have my water in here, room temperature water. It's not like a big jug or anything. It's just a little small water bottle that I use. So nothing major, just my water bottle.
It's huge. That's what she said. She got a big one.
Put your hands around it.
Double-handed, yeah, girl.
My water bottle. I make sure I have it. This is usually I can get through one of these. I drink a lot while I'm working.
Yeah, stamina.
If I'm live streaming, I usually load that up. People have asked me, do you have a schedule? No. Do not. I go on when I'm ready, when I'm good and ready. But my process for also getting in the booth is making sure that it's a quiet time of day. I do have to like think, okay, did the dogs eat? Is everybody quiet? Their laundry's not running. Did I turn off the freaking AC? Is the freaking dishwasher still going? Oh my God, there's a toilet running somewhere. So do all the checks. Then you
Yeah.
get in the booth and actually get started.
Right. The little things that you would have never thought would be so loud are the loudest in a house when you're trying to record, isn't it?
Well, and literally, the smallest living thing in my house is a bunny. She noisy as fuck. See this big. And she's the noisiest thing in this house.
Oh no.
She wants to chew on her little toys. You can hear it in here.
Oh no.
You can hear her chewing on her toys. What am I going to do to the bunny? Bunny, stop chewing. Really? Like, I can't do that.
She'd just look at you and be like, uh-huh.
Well,
she's still chewing. Yeah.
I have probably the only bunny in the world. If there's other people out there who have a bunny like this, you all tell me. But I may have the only bunny in the world who growls. I'm not kidding.
You would have one of those, wouldn't you?
You can call it a grunt, but she grunt growls. Her name's Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
She is a witch.
Yep. Baba Yaga, yeah. I can see that. Like, don't mess with me. I'm cute like this until you fuck around.
Yeah. A black, fluffy Baba Yaga.
Oh my goodness. You have a black cat. His name is Bakes.
Oh.
And yeah. And he is he chirps. He chirps.
Oh.
That's how he talks.
I love that.
Yeah, it's adorable. It's very few meows, but even when he's having fun, you hear him, and I'm going, okay.
Yeah, that would interrupt my booth session too.
Yeah.
Yep,
you're cute and adorable. Shut the fuck up now, please.
I'm so excited. I will say I have a booth on the way.
Yes.
It is currently, I'm...
You're tracking it, right?
Tracking it. Phone calls just this week, but I'm so excited to not have to open my door at my booth and be like, dogs, lay down. Every single time they stand up, my microphone picks it up. I don't want my dogs to not like me. Every time they stand up, they should be able to stand up while I record. Poor boys.
Yeah.
So they can't. When I have a booth, they can stand up.
Yeah. They're going to be like, hey, mom's going in the box. We get to have fun now. Yeah, can you imagine them doing with their paws just for shits and giggles? Like, how you like me now?
I could see that though, because they're so smart. They would literally, if it's like mom's going in there, we can now be noisy. They might just do that very thing, go get their toys and start playing.
Yeah, I should be like a squeaky, squeak, 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 squeak. Is she okay? She still hasn't heard us. Okay. They're I mean, with the exception of a handful of humans, I think I definitely love animals more than I do humans. So
I love them animals. I have hundreds of hours experience training dogs. I had a dog who was in Schutzhund, which is like police sport. It's pretty much where dogs would there's bite training and there's like little tent things that people can hide behind, and then the dog runs around and like holds somebody there, and it's a dog sport. So I have a lot of hours practice and working with dogs who do dog sport, to include disc dogs, which is with frisbee, to include dock diving, which is where you throw something off of a dock and your dog has to jump off the dock, hopefully grab it, and then land in the water. I have done advanced obedience. I have a service dog. I've done service dog training. Like I love dogs. So before I got into this, I was literally interviewing because I love animals almost more than humans. And so I was interviewing at dog training facilities, dog boarding facilities. I was trying to go find something that would work and have good flexible hours that would work for me. That was something I was good at or comfortable in, like dog training. And I ended up in my closet. But I ended up in my closet.
But it's one of those things where if you can work from home, that is a perk, is having the puppies around and the kitties and stuff like that. And you do a lot of different genres, but your main kind of like books, or what a lot of people tend to know you from, is the romance aspect of the books and things like that. What do you love best about working within the romance genre?
Honestly, I think the thing that I like the best about the romance genre is the fact that it's not, for me, the ones that I get into, I don't find them, I feel like it's kind of like with comedy or with, I'm trying to think of other genres. I guess comedy is the only other one, like humor, the only other one that I can like relate it to. But I feel like romance is, it's a book. It's about a love story, sure, but there might be other things in it. And I feel like a lot of romance authors maybe get flack for, oh, it's a cute little love story. Oh, a boy and a girl, they fall in love. It's like, well, it's more than that. Like, there's a lot of depth in the romance genre that I didn't know about. Like, I never read romance before I started narrating. Ever, ever. Okay, that's a lie. You know Nora Roberts, right? Okay, there
Yes,
was like
yes.
page 76 in third grade. No, I'm joking. Move. that one page of the book that gets passed around when like
Yeah.
sixth, whatever grade. I don't. It probably wasn't third, but you know. So that was my only exposure to romance, was like some random Nora Roberts book that was passed around in whatever grade it was. And so this has been my intro into that genre. And I'm not saying I was one of those people that was like, oh, a boy and a girl falls in love, but I definitely did not know romance had as much depth as it does. And so my favorite thing about working in romance is discovering, number one, romance is not just romance. There's depth. And number two, the depth is different depending on like the subgenres and the tropes and it's amazing. There was one book I read recently, and I definitely told the author, I sent her messages as I was reading through her book, and I was like, how long is this book again? Because I was prepping it. How long is this book that I'm going to be narrating? And I sent her the message. I was like, I read this in 4 hours. She's like, yeah. I'm like, is the word count right? She's like, yeah. Okay. It was like 140,000 words or something. It was massive. It read like a novella. And she's like, you're not the first person to tell me that. And I'm like, it feels so like quick and light, but there's meat in it, and it's so tropey. And I never realized, for me, I don't know why, but whenever I hear trope, it's like hearing the difference between the odor and scent. One sounds, oh, it's a subgenre. One sounds, oh, it's a trope. I don't know why, but in my brain, it separated them. But like it, when I'm reading this book with all of the different tropes in it, I'm like, oh my God, I get it. They're just little sub. It made so much sense when I read this one book, and I'm just learning. I'm learning about romance. My favorite part about narrating romance is I'm being exposed to something new, and I'm just finding more reasons to fall in love with it. This one book had, I want to say, like, it had one bed, it had forced proximity, it had a millionaire or billionaire romance, it had what's it called when you do the marriage of convenience, marriage of convenience, just everything, miscommunication, so many cool things in this book that now I know what a trope is. Okay, cool, great. I've learned.
Yeah, I learned quickly that the readers, because the trope thing is something that's relatively new. I mean, I've been in this stuff in this world for 15 plus years. And we already discussed the genres and the subgenres. And so it was always like, oh, paranormal, vampire, shifters, or whatever, or
Yeah.
historical, Victorian or medieval. And then within the past maybe about 3 or 4 years, tropes have been really a more higher level conversation, and more people are having it way more than what the conversation about the genres are really about. And the thing is, though, the tropes are technically the spoilers. Usually we would read and find, oh, there's a baby, or
Yep.
what do you mean there's only one bed? And that was
Yep.
part of the reading process. And so now there's a lot of us have been doing this for a lot of years, are going, oh, there they go with the spoilers. And so we're going, just don't tell me the tropes. I want to know and discover it myself. But then there's others that are focused on like, I want this, and this trope.
This is the catalog of what I want in this book. I'm learning. Learning about romance as a romance narrator is really, really cool experience, because as I said earlier, for my creative process, I want to understand the author's intent. I want to see what the readers are feeling when they read your book. I want to, like, there's so many things I dig into in getting ready to narrate that author's book. I'm learning what romance is to different people, to different authors, what tropes are, as opposed to what I originally thought they were, which was completely wrong. Like, I'm just learning so much, and I'm loving it, to the point that I have a favorites shelf that's been a favorites shelf for as long as I've owned books. I always have a favorites section of my bookshelf, or a favorites shelf. And now I can say there's an inaugural romance book on that shelf.
Nice.
Never before has there been one, and now there is. And I'm just like, this is so cool. I might be a romance girly now.
Yeah. But that's what it's just someone decided to label it. Oh, there's a couple situation or a romantic involvement. Let's call that, subject, that genre romance. But regardless of the fact that there are people discovering themselves, or they're going into
Yeah.
outer space and being
Yeah.
explorers, and they're finding adventures, or she happens to be, the Grim Reaper, and who just happens to fall in love with the death. So it's
And I
all
think
these things.
for something that I find important for as long as I've ever read books, which has been since I was like 8, I don't know, 6, like loved books. I've read books for longer, but like I've loved books since I was about 8 years old. But it's representation. And I think the kinds of books I would read before, representation was like through metaphor or maybe figuratively, or it wasn't extremely like explicit. Here's a representation of exactly what a person in this day and age has gone through. And I have found so much clear representation in romance with regards to mental health awareness, with regards to loss, grief, just so many different things in there. There's one, oh my gosh, there's one I just narrated and I'm not ready to process it. I started listening. I had the pickups that came in. Pickups are corrections for an audiobook, but I had the corrections come in for this book. Finished the however many hours of the book. Corrections came in. I turn on to play the first little 2-second snippet of the word I said wrong. And I'm listening to it. I said outside instead of inside. Weird, whatever. And I'm listening to it. The 2 or 3 seconds, and immediately, as soon as I hear it, I'm all like, my eyes start to well up because I'm remembering this representation in this book. This author usually writes romance, just romance. This main male character, lost his leg. And he was a police officer. He had a gunshot wound. It got infected. They had to remove his leg. And it's so well written, and there's representation in it. It is beautiful. And literally just those 2 seconds of listening to it made me remember like that feeling of like this person, and the way she wrote it, you could really imagine what it would feel like to be not maybe the person who lost their leg, but to be somebody supporting that person. Because that was the line that I was from the point of view of the person supporting that person. I'm like, this could be so healing, or make somebody feel so seen to read this little romance. It's beautiful, just beautiful.
It
I
is
love.
something, yeah, definitely one of the things that I always advocate when people are discussing books, and they're always mentioning, like Lord of the Rings and this and that. And then they ask, like, what do you read? And going, well, I've read all that stuff and I read the classics, but I also read and work with romance. And they kind of look at you like, huh?
Yeah.
And I go, the human experiences and the conversations and learning of self-discovery, and knowing that maybe you do have a passion and you want to quit the day 9 to 5 job and go open a bakery, you know and where the guy next door that's doing the bar is giving you shits. I mean, there's these little things that you can do about self-discovery, or even realizing sometimes on the harder topics like loss, whether it's a pregnancy loss, it's a romantic loss, a relationship loss, a parent, a physical aspect of yourself that identifies you as a human being and who you are, rediscovering who you are now, and being able to be like, oh, that's how I felt and I didn't have the words. It's an important thing.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And unfortunately, society deems it that it's about frolics and fences and vibrators, and then that's about it. And then,
well, that's not it, but
right,
I'm okay with them being in there.
I mean, me too.
But there's a lot of other stuff in there as well.
Yes, but it's just one of those things, and so it's one of those where you're going, oh, okay, and that's why I've stuck around as long as I have. I'm not gonna stick around if it was like just all the nasty
vibrators
stuff. Well, yeah,
I might stick around for a couple vibrators.
A couple of times. 15 years is a long time, though, girl.
Yeah. I will say though, with regards to romance, okay, Carmen, that's me. I don't narrate romance. I have a pseudonym. I have a pseudonym. I have a pseudonym that narrates romance, and her name is Audrey O'Bain. Now, what I've heard, we're going to talk a little bit about Audrey.
Yeah.
With it. Okay, Audrey is Audrey O'Bain. Audrey like Hepburn. O'Bain like, I don't know, but Audrey like Hepburn, okay? And so what I've heard some people say is like, oh, Aubrey did that one. I'm like, no, it's Audrey. So apparently I picked like the worst names for this pseudonym, because Audrey gets mixed up with O'Bain and it becomes Aubrey O'Bain.
Well, I mean, that's it's a great kind of conversation because we do talk sometimes about the pseudonyms and not outing the narrators when we
Yeah.
discover that so and so is also so and so. And some of you guys are loud and proud with it. Others are so like they'll talk about it like we are now, but they won't do it in writing. As far as like their social medias, or if it's a written interview, they're like, oh, I have a friend. They'll do the Disney thing. I'm friends with Cinderella kind of thing. What was your reasoning for having a pseudonym?
Uh, I don't know. I
It's
think it was
honest.
the fact that at first I did a lot of research when I was getting into this. When I was creating my narrator profiles on different websites and figuring out how to market myself and everything else, I was looking at other narrators, right? And I saw, oh, well, this narrator has two names. Wait, isn't this narrator that narrator? Wait, this narrator's linked to that page, but but this page doesn't have pictures, but they sound this. So I did research. And then I asked the questions. Why did you go with a pseudonym? How do you market your pseudonym? Oh, do you actually promote your pseudonym? And I just kind of picked based off what I saw. Okay, do I need a pseudonym? Number one, because I didn't start with narrating romance. And then when I started to get romance, I was like, now I need to make that decision. And number two, how do I present it? And my decision to be open about it was honestly for ease and convenience. I just don't want to have to promote them separately. So I don't mind if Carmen, has to do all the work because at least I got two people that that can handle the load. So I didn't mind having because I just couldn't handle two personas with two different inboxes and two different social medias, which I did start, but I just couldn't do it. So I was like, just all come to me. I'll promote Audrey here as well. But what I want in terms of the links that could possibly be sent out to companies, to authors, to family members who know my name. The first thing that they see when they open up, oh, I want to see what's my cousin Carmen been up to? Let me just type in Carmen. They're not gonna see, something that maybe they're not good
Who's your
with.
daddy?
No tentacles for them. They
Yeah.
get sweet cozy things.
Yeah.
Which some of my sweet cozy stuff is under Audrey too, so you gotta be careful there, which is why you have them under different ones. I recently learned in a class that oftentimes casting people and production folks will send Audible links out to authors and be like, yo, author, we're going to be producing your book. We have these 4 names that we think would be great for your book. Before we send auditions out, have a look at their Audible so you can see what they sound like. And they send the link. If you send a children's book author my Audrey link, I don't think they need to hear me moaning to see if I can be Ramona,
Yeah.
dragon slayer kid. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no, so we don't do that. We keep them separate. And I have run into the issue of having my name on the wrong genre, the wrong books, but we fixed it. So we've been able to address it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the main reasons I think a lot of times the narrators is to distinguish between the um 18 and above mature content and or even deeper, more emotionally heavy kind of conversations and stuff. Because I even know that some will do it if they're doing a lot of medical books or psychological books that are on the more of the professional fields, but because of the topic, they'll have a different name for it. Just so
Yeah, I think I have seen some narrators who have 3, and right now I'm a twofer. The other way I've described it is like you have a drawer for your socks, and you have a drawer of your unmentionables. Okay,
yes,
your unmentionables is my Audrey drawer.
Audrey.
You don't mix them because if you send your kid or your family member who's visiting who forgot to pack socks to your room and you say, well, go to the sock drawer and it's labeled socks, they ain't going to be opening your unmentionables.
I mean, you would think.
See, the thing is, if they dig enough, they're like, oh, yeah, there's a sock, but oh, shoot, I forgot this too. I'm going to open this other drawer and see if there's scarves. That's their own fault.
That's their fault.
I told
Yep.
you where the socks were. You chose to open other drawers. So that's, again, I have people who are like, but you talk about it like out there, so I guess you're not really trying to hide. No, but you got to work a little bit harder to find the next name. You got to open a different drawer. You got to put in effort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I always say it's okay to be curious when you are loving a performance by a narrator and you're going, oh my God, I wish that they had more, like a Carmen scenario, right? And they're looking for Carmen and she only has 14 titles, but I'm like, I want more of Carmen. And then, oh, great. There is this other person that sounds exactly like Carmen. let me see. And then eventually they'll put two and two together. Our issues is when they're vocalizing it publicly without knowing if you guys are open to it or not.
Yes.
That is the biggest issue.
There are some amazing bookish creators out there, bookstagrammers, book talkers, reviewers, people who do reviews on Goodreads, whatever. I have had several people reach out to me and ask because fucking Audrey keeps getting work. So I guess that like people want to
That bitch.
So I get people asking, "Hey, I think you're Audrey. Can I tag you?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're fine." But it's nice that they ask.
Yes,
I so appreciate that.
Yeah, it's just common courtesy, basic level, kind of thing. And sadly and unfortunately, I think sometimes that goes out the window because of the excitement. Because otherwise, it also becomes the guess what I found out attitude kind of thing. Like I'm going to be the girl, right? I'm going to be the girl, and I'm going. A lot of us already knew that. We just know when to keep our mouth shut. So shut the fuck up.
But it's close to accidentally outing somebody once.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If I would have met you as Audrey, you would have been stuck with me calling you that for the rest of your life. I have a friend. Her name is Monica Burns. She writes historical romance. It is fantastic. She also writes contemporary and paranormals, but that's not her real name. I know her legal name.
Monica.
She's Monica. She will be forever. I will go to her funeral. And I'm like, Monica was, oh my God, Monica. They're like, who is Monica? I'm going,
you're at the wrong funeral. Oh, no.
Because I am not the one to out you. That is my biggest fear. It's one of my biggest fears is to accidentally out somebody. So I'm like, how I meet you, it is who you are. There's only one circumstances with a male narrator who, that I just, he was very, very adamant about being called by his real name. And I'm going, aye, Captain.
I'll do it.
Yeah. I'll do it. It took me a while. He's like, Viviana. I'm like, oh, great. Now I'm being lectured.
I think it's also just really in person because I've done a few in-person events, like the bookish events, the book signings. I went to the Audio Publishers Association conference, I think is what it's called, APAC. And I think the biggest thing that I said, because you'll see people with their lanyards, their little badges. It's like, okay, that's who you are. But based on your face and your social media, I know so then the first thing is, hi, what do I call you?
Yeah.
Hi, what do you prefer to be called?
Mm-hmm. Who are you today?
Like, who are you who are we to each other right now? Like, okay. Yeah. It's a good question.
It's definitely one of those conversations that it seems to happen every couple of months when we have it, whether if romance requires an HEA. Yeah, it does. And then the other one is a conversation regarding the pseudonym. So I guess the rule is just ask, and it's okay to have the conversations outside of public media. In that case, like you're like, oh my God, I know who Carmen is too.
And if you make a mistake or you accidentally put somebody's name out there, like it has happened. And I think that when folks are like, they clear it out, they let the person know. And there's like honest mistakes happen. We're human, not AI.
Yeah. Yep. And I was having that conversation recently when someone got nominated in 2 categories accidentally because the person that is managing the entries and all the social, all the stuff for the Sultry Listener Awards is human.
Human, not AI. You know what? That just means that mistakes are beautiful human things.
We are, it's part of the nature of being human. And that is what we strive for in this community. Yes. So there are going to be mistakes, folks. It's okay. Give us grace. Give us an opportunity to fix it. Now, if y'all are dumb enough not to go and learn after that, that's on your own.
Same thing goes for audiobooks, okay? If you hear me mispronounce anything, just be happy I'm not AI, okay? Whoops. I said... okay, my worst one. I have 2 worst ones. Deterrent. I know how to say it. I said it right. Deterrent. Yeah, it's deterrent. If I don't work real hard, it's a deterrent. Don't come for me. The other one is, and I don't know how I say it wrong. I'd have to say it out loud, but it's formidable. Formidable. I don't know. Some people say I say it weird, but I say formidable. Whatever. So that one. And then sometimes I say flag instead of flag. So there are a few. And if you hear it in an audiobook, just be happy. It's not AI. Okay? Yes. Okay. Well, I'm human. I'm fallible.
Yeah.
Try. We
Yeah. Definitely. Absolutely. I mean, I have my words too. Cinnamon can sometimes cinnamon kind of thing. Cinnamon,
Sorry.
cinnamon. Yeah, it's okay. I always like I'm like spaghetti
Yep.
kind of thing. Because it's just cute. I'm like spaghetti. But that one time I went to Boston, that one time, 20
Uh-oh.
something odd years ago for the honeymoon in January. That's another story. Why did you go to Boston? Anyways, cold as fuck. Um,
Ew.
but fast forward now 20 years, there is one word that has stuck with me, and I have to really work it to say it normally. Otherwise, we're just gonna go to the car.
Oh my
The word
God.
car. I'll be at the car.
Yep.
For whatever the
It's stuck
reason,
now.
I had to, yeah, it's stuck. The one word. And I'm like,
Yep.
we're gonna go to the car.
Carl.
Car.
Yep.
But I also live in Orlando, Florida, where we have Kissimmee and Ocoee. And some of these words are native. And
Oh,
so yeah.
okay.
But it's like Ocoee, when we have the GPS or the map stuff, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Yep.
But it's Kissimmee, not Kissimmee. Kiss
Kissimmee.
me, basically.
Yep.
So yeah, all that fun. So it's human nature. We make mistakes. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if there are mistakes in there, just consider that my silent but not so silent protest against AI. That's all it is. If there's a mispronunciation, just be like, "Oh, good job, Carmen. Fight the AI."
Yeah. She's just testing us, folks. This is how she
I'm
lets
just
us know
testing. It's
she's
fine.
real.
Every
Yeah.
time there's a typo in my email, I'm just like, "But I'm not AI.
Yeah.
You know I didn't use Grammarly. You know this was all me. It was
I'm,
all me."
I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna steal it. I'm not borrowing it. I'm stealing it.
Go ahead.
What is one thing though, since we are very more connected with from the industry side of things to the listeners and the readers, what is one thing that you wish that the listeners or the readers would understand more or better about audiobooks as far as the work behind it?
I think two things. Number one, it is voice acting. We're not readers. We are not. We're not just readers. I mean, some of us aren't even readers. Did you know some narrators don't even like to read? That's a thing. That's
Yeah,
a thing.
that's
I
a
had no
thing.
idea.
It is.
But yeah, we're not just readers. We're not all stage actors, but we are all actors. We are all voice actors. A narrator, audiobook narration, is just like you've got your subgenres for romance, you've got your subgenres or your subparts of voice acting or voiceover. Okay, you've got your dubbing, you've got your animation, you've got your commercial, you've got your promo, you've got your, I don't know, e-learning, and then you've got your audiobooks. That's just a part of voice acting. So I am a voice actor. Did I know that a year ago? No. Have I been doing this for more than a year? Yes. But I didn't realize until after I've been doing this for a while that, oh, wait, I'm an actor. It was the weirdest realization.
Yeah.
I'm an actor. Like, I avoided drama and theater like the plague. I stage, people can look at me and see me, and oh no. So when I realized I had to claim being an actor, I was like, but it's true because I feel like folks maybe don't realize how much goes into audiobooks. We are not reading out loud. We are acting while reading out loud. Like we're doing it all together. Like we are reading the script, yes, but it requires more than just a read. It requires understanding. It requires performance. It requires capturing emotion and relaying intent and literally everything an actor does. And it requires all of that in a believable human manner. So like that's one thing that I think that across, and that's not just for readers, listeners to know, but I think anybody, whether you are another actor, maybe a stage actor, and you just maybe didn't realize that. Like I think that there are a lot of folks who don't realize audiobook narration is still acting. To include me, I didn't know. And then the other one is just the amount of time, the time that goes into it. I think that I didn't know, and it's good to, I think, realize when you're listening to something how much time and effort and energy went into that thing. Yeah, the time.
Yeah. A lot of times people are like, oh, it's a 9-hour book. You're just sitting there for 9 hours. I'm like, no. There's math to it. For every 1 hour of the final product that we get, they were in that booth for at least 2, if not more hours to get
That's
you
just
that
the
one.
booth time.
That's
That's
just
not
the booth
right.
time.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
not the prep. That's not the post-production. That's not the pickups. That's not the what I'm doing for this other book where I listened to the entire book before it as prep. Like, it's a process.
I think that that's also, it's good that we're having these kind of dialogues and kind of getting more into it. People will understand, give you a little bit more grace when you say the word the wrong way.
I swear, deterrent is going to catch on. People are going to start saying it's a deterrent.
Well, there's also been times though where the conversation has happened where like, oh, they said it wrong, and they're going, where is the city or the from, or there's a particular region and stuff like that.
Yep.
So they're saying it correctly based on the region. We're hearing it wrong because we're not there. It's like when you're from like there's a city, where is it? Oh my goodness, Louisville, Kentucky. There's literally a postcard that has the grammar of how to say Louisville 3 or 4 different ways.
Yeah.
And people can tell if you're native to them or not, or if you're, a tourist, or how often you've been there if you say it a particular way. Same thing like with Atlanta, Georgia. It's not Atlanta, it's Atlanta. Like they know. I'm going. So yeah, so maybe they didn't say it wrong. Maybe they just said it how it was.
They said it the way it was said there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me
exactly.
a fantasy world any day because I get to pick the pronunciation. Well, I don't usually get the author will pick the pronunciation.
Right.
But sometimes the author says, have fun. Do what you feel is right.
Just keep notes in case there's book 2.
Yeah. Notes are important.
Notes are important, yes. It's like, depending on when that was, last time you recorded it. Ooh, it's always a good thing. Or my favorite, there was the walking character in that one chapter for like 2 seconds, and you gave him like one of those throwaway voices, and then now suddenly in book 5 they're the main character.
I don't know. Thanks, big thanks, the biggest bouquet of flowers, candy, chocolate, ramen, the best food in the world, to every single author who writes down when a character is supposed to be a big part of a future book. Thank you. That has so saved me. There's this one, the one that we were talking about before, but when I auditioned for, there's a character in it who does not have a Southern accent in the audition. Does not. But the author wrote down, like, for some reason it develops a Southern accent later on, but like it's got a very, very unique sounding voice. And the author was very clear that this character needed to have this very unique sounding voice, but I needed to make sure that whatever that unique sounding voice was, even though it wasn't Southern in the audition, I could do that voice with an accent. In the future, like, that was such a good note, because there's certain, I don't know, I just need to be careful that whatever I chose, I could make it Southern with whatever that is. A cute little act. It's a cute little voice. It was adorable.
Yeah, but you have to make sure that it's going to be easy on our ears too, because it might be cute for that 1 second that they're walking in.
But if it's a bigger part later,
or that you have to, the warm-ups are going to have to definitely be there with the coat throats and all that fun stuff. So it's definitely a good thing. So when you're not working, what do you do for fun?
When I'm what? Wait, hold on. It didn't compute.
I know, right?
That's a thing.
Yeah, I know. What would you consider fun if you had the opportunity, if you were going on vacation?
Okay, let me explain. I will explain. In the summer, I had other things beyond work that required my attention, that required me to be away from the booth, physically away from the booth for about a week at a time. So every single month over the summer, I was out of the booth for a week or so at a time. And let me tell you, I want to start incorporating that every month in the future, because man, that was nice. I did things. I went to bookstores, not to go see if maybe one of the books I've narrated is on the shelf, but because I wanted to go look at some books and read and pick up a new book. I went to an open mic night, which I love open mic nights. I love open mic nights and spoken word poetry, and I just think that that's a lot of fun. So I went to a couple of those. Animals, when I have free time, I like to volunteer at the animal shelter and walk the dogs. I still do that when I can, not as much as I used to. I like to foster animals when I have time. Animals is just like a huge passion of mine, always has been. One of my, I'd say, most guilty pleasure for fun things that I do is, it's not like guilt, well, it is. I like shark movies, but like, okay, so there's a few different genres of movies that I like that are guilty pleasure because no, they're really, really bad, but like poorly made. But I like poorly made shark movies. I like poorly made disaster movies, and I like poorly made monster movies. I think they're a lot of fun. Not horror, but like bad CGI or bad costume monsters, bad CGI freaking sharks. Yeah, that's fun for me. So I like to watch those things. What else? What else? There's a concert I want to go to next year for this band that has these characters that represents the band. It's a K-pop band.
I know that
I
band.
have a tattoo on my arm from the same band. It's a BTS is probably going to be having a tour next year, and I really want to go. Yeah, I like to go on walks. I like to play with my dogs. Sometimes I like to lift weights.
Thanks for clarifying.
I don't know why that needs clarification. I'm like, what else? What else do people lift? I don't know. Let me just
The baguettes.
I lift the baguettes. I don't know. Yeah. And then family time as well.
Yeah.
I have new babies in the family that I really hope to be able to spend time with soon. So
Nice. Awesome. So what is that one song you absolutely have to sing along to whenever it comes on? As she gives us a face.
okay, so recently I didn't realize this was a thing, and this is the first one that's coming to mind because there's probably more than one. But there's one that came on recently. I like to listen to like Bridgerton style classical music, but it's like hip hop or pop songs, but like classical, made
Yeah.
classical. So
Yeah.
I listen to that sometimes on my breaks in between chapters when I'm in the booth. Well, and it's just good background. It's not distracting. You recognize it, but there's no lyrics. It's not distracting. So I'm like typing in the next chapter. I'm typing in my chapter times, whatever. As I'm typing away, I hear this, and I'm like, my fire. I'm like, oh no, in sync. Is that it? Or is that Backstreet Boys? Oh no.
Oh,
My
you did the
fire, my
thing
one
where you
desire.
confuse.
I want it that way as Backstreet Boys, right? Or is
Yeah.
that in sync? It's Backstreet
Oh.
Boys.
I think it's Backstreet Boys, but let me see.
It's Backstreet Boys. 100%. What is wrong with me? Anyway, so apparently that song is
Backstreet
what
Boys, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Apparently. So that was a most recent one because I was live streaming with my Bridgerton music in the background, typing away. And as I'm going along, I'm like starting to sing out loud. I'm like, oh my God, people can hear me. Because I don't typically sing in public. So I was like, oh, never mind. That's apparently a song I can't resist singing out loud.
Okay. It's a good one. And it does have a hook where it's that one, regardless of
Literally the first two little like strings, the two notes on the violin, immediately I was like, I got this.
Well, also, no, now we know that if there's ever an author that has written a book in which the character sings, Carmen,
I will do it. Okay? I have no joke. That is a recent request I have had.
Nice. See?
Yep. 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 It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
No joke. I actually talked to a vocal coach because of that book, and I will probably be working with him for that book.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of times we think same thing like when there's an emotions and like the heroine, like so-and-so character yelled. You can't yell into the mic. You have to have it a particular way where I can know that you're yelling, but otherwise ouchie on my earbud, kind of thing. Yeah. So it's the same thing with singing. You kind of have to learn how
there's a way.
There's a way to do it.
In general, I need to learn how to sing. I may not be tone deaf, but I'm not far away. So, okay. The vocal coach that I have worked with, we've had a couple sessions and he's made it clear I am not, in fact, tone deaf. However, I could benefit from training. So we're going to just make sure I can carry a tune before I get to that book.
Yeah, everyone can always benefit from training, regardless of what that is. That's why I'm a huge advocate about the narrators getting coaching, regardless of where in their career they're at, because there's always something to learn. There's always something. And if you're not learning, you're in the wrong room.
But speaking of coaching, I have recently found what makes me want coaching more than anything. Don't look at your reviews, okay? Because the minute you look at your reviews, it's like, I suck. Why would anybody ever hire me? Everything I've ever done sucks. I need coaching. And so then I seek. Hey, at least I regularly seek coaching.
Yeah. Well, the reviews are like assholes. We all have one. It's an opinion and stuff like that. And so there are, however, because there is that conversation among the authors, among the community, and even with with the narrators about not reading your reviews.
Yep.
I say, no. read your reviews or get someone else to read them and kind of say, hey, that way your feelings are not hurt kind of thing. And I get that part too, as a Pisces. I get the emotions, but the reviews, if done right, they will tell you, during chapter this, the accent was lost, or, oh, the performance wasn't there, or, my God, she really is tone deaf.
I'm not ready for that one.
But how else would you better yourself if you didn't know that?
I do normally have a friend who looks through, but that damn Audrey was getting work, and I'm like, well, I want to see what people think about her, and I did it, and it doesn't. The thing is you can have, and I'm sure everybody knows this, but you can have 5 million amazing good reviews, good notes. Wow, that was great, and the one that says meh. You immediately think, well, what does meh mean? Meh completely negates every other thing out there. And so I found like 2 mehs, and I was like, well, I need extensive coaching. But my brain is smart enough, or at least not smart enough. I was able to separate that enough to be like, while it did hurt a little bit, I was able to be like, but these are the key things I actually need to talk to the coach about. So I will say it did encourage me to seek coaching when it hasn't even been that long. It's probably just been a couple months since my last coaching, but
there's also a lot of different types of coaching. People, as from an industry, they think, oh, they need coaching. I'm like, okay, but hold on. She raises her hands. What kind of coaching? There's dialect, accents, there's business coaching, there's industry. I mean, there's just so many different things, and there's so many different ways to teach. It's finding that right coach also that you guys sync and make it, oh, like, I get it, that's what they meant, got it. And so
there was one coach who I went to for industry coaching, I would say. Like, she was teaching me the industry. This was when I was starting to get into working with production companies, and I felt like a baby, a fish out of water. What do I do? Because I don't want to make a fool of myself. This is my first time working with a company. She was amazing at just making me feel empowered to operate a business, with a company, like to present myself as a person who could work with a company as a business. Like, she made me feel like I knew what I was doing and guided me through very simple, basic questions to working with a company. And that has carried me through to every single company I've worked with. I had like 6 or 7 sessions with her that I would say she also helped with some auditions and other things, but overall, like, it was mostly industry coaching. Amazing. I got so much out of that. I've done dialect coaching specifically. I've done, what else? So dialect coaching, industry coaching. The next one I am looking into is some more business coaching, but primarily with like, business reach outs, things like that, business things, networking, that kind of thing. Networking is the wrong word, but I don't know. And then marketing. Marketing is the right word. Yeah. And then the other coaching that I've gotten is just performance. I have gotten performance and acting coaching, probably more than or on par in terms of amount, right about as many of those sessions as I have had of the industry coaching, because both were very important to me, understanding the industry and making sure that my skills were where they need to be.
Yeah, you said it, you are a business. And a lot of times when you start a business, you forget that you're a business, or you don't realize that you're a business. And then you're going, oh crap, I've been doing this for a year and I forgot to do the taxes. Crap. Oh.
Stop calling me out. We're in public.
It's so that's the first thing everybody always forgets, and I'm the first one that busts out with, you do have that Excel spreadsheet. They're like, for what? I'm going, expenses? And they're going, like, for what? And I'm going, okay, let's sit down, buy me coffee. You don't know what you don't know until you know. So yeah. So we kind of got a little bit into it already. One of the segments that we have are the guilty pleasures. And that came about because with the Patreon side, we have the Would You Rather, where I very nicely and lovingly make you guys choose between 2 things. And one of the question is, would you rather tell everyone your guilty pleasures or never partake into your guilty pleasures again? And
I'll tell everybody.
Right. Well,
at least those ones. I won't tell everybody the other ones.
Well, it's not that kind of podcast, girl.
Those are called kinks, not guilty pleasures.
Exactly. But that is why I started having it as a segment in more in the open, because everyone always thinks of guilty pleasures as something dirty or bad or so that you should be hiding behind it. And I'm going, listen, if you like to have, dessert before dinner or watch those horrible movies.
So bad.
So bad.
Anybody?
Yeah, so bad. If it brings you joy, it's not a guilty thing. So let's talk about it. But also, honestly, it was one of those, like, you guys as guests would be like, oh, I would tell everybody. Right. And then there was no real follow-up as to what they were. And so I'm like, it was always a joke, like, oh, the next time that you're on the show, we'll talk about it. And we never did. So I'm like, fuck that shit. We're doing that now.
I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I will talk about some of them, though. Come on now.
I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm not that kind of podcast.
Okay.
I know. I might have a different segment. We do have Enchantress After Dark.
Oh, my.
I have to start.
See, this is when we got to get Audrey out here. Okay.
Yes.
She's working.
Yeah, we'll have she's busy right now. So that was one of the things. But the other segment that I'd like to do with you guys is Two Truths and a Lie. Did you get to do the homework?
I read the things. Did I need to come with two? I can give you 2 truths and a lie.
Yes, I'm nice, and I gave you guys the homework in case you guys got to think about it. Some of y'all are good on your feet. Otherwise, we have a lot of dead air, and that just really sucks for editing, which is why I give it to you in advance. Okay. Yeah, but so you need to tell us 3 things about yourself, 2 of which are true, and 1 is a lie. And we, meaning me, because the audience is not here with me, have to try to figure out which is the lie.
Okay.
So if you're ready.
Okay. 2 truths and a lie. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
1 truth. They're all truths, obviously.
Of course.
I'm telling you everything that's true. Everything I'm saying is obviously true. Okay, let's go with I was thrown off of a horse when I was 6 years old. I know the Russian language fluently, and I was adopted.
Okay, folks. One of the things I always say and stuff is you guys sometimes give clues and sometimes you don't. And it's always the details, because you could have gotten thrown off a horse, but not at 6. It could have been when you were 8. So technically that's a lie, right? Because of the age of what you told me. The same thing with the Russian. You can know it, but it may not be fluent, or it may not be Russian. It could be something else that you're fluent at. And the adopting, it could be that you had a sibling that told you that. You know? Oh, God. Well, my uncle used to tell my mother that they found her in a garbage, container. So I mean, there's that. So you just don't know which one it is until you know. I want to say that the lie is that you were thrown off a horse when you were 6 years old.
I was not thrown.
But you were boosted?
I threw myself.
Oh, okay.
The horse did not throw me.
So it's not the horse's fault. It was just your fault.
Yes. So the story is I have red hair. The horse had red hair. We were out for a trail ride. It was one of my first times. It was not like it was one of my first-ish times on a horse, because we grew up with horses, whatever. And this was my horse. Like, he's a great horse. He's a big lumbering. His name was JR. Oh, it's just a good horse. Massive, tall horse. But he would take care of anybody. So here I am on the back of this red horse with my red hair, and my stupid ass sister is over there on her horse. And there's these bugs that are just all around me. And I'm noticing, and I'm like, oh my God. There's bugs. There's bugs. Oh my God, there's bugs. And I'm starting to freak out. And my sister is like, Carmen, they are red bugs. You have red hair. The horse has red hair. That's why they're swarming. They're gonna, she's screaming at me, and I'm already freaking out. And she's like, they're gonna get you. And so I literally threw myself off this horse. I am screaming and flailing. This horse is just standing there like,
the fuck?
I throw myself off the horse. I run back to the house, leave the horse. We were out on a trail ride. I just left the horse out there. Horse screaming. But yes, I was still 6, and I was not thrown. The horse was just standing there very calmly, but I threw myself off the horse. Yeah. So it's partly true.
Yeah.
But not really.
Right. But that's how people get,
Yeah.
They're like, that's how people get thrown off, in the sense of not
I will
the
never
horse,
forget
but
that moment.
Yeah.
I don't like my sister sometimes. Older sister, just a torment to me.
Yeah, it's always the older siblings. Like I said, my mother has stories of her being left at a bakery. And this is in Chile, so it's like when you think of bakery, it was like not like what we think of Publix or something like that here, but grandma would say, hey, take your sister with you to go get the bread. She would get left at the bakery. She would get left. Oh yeah. She was told that she was found in a garbage container, like those big containers, because she, it was one of those like, oh yeah, you're not really our sisters, we just felt bad for you, and these are her siblings. And I'm going, oh my gosh. Her older sister used to get lizards, open their mouth, and put them as earrings. She doesn't like lizards.
They're just cruel.
Yeah, kids are
Yes.
cruel.
Oh,
Yeah.
scared the crap out of me, man.
Oh,
I did
yeah.
hear later on in life as an adult that she got in big, big trouble. I didn't know this as a kid, but I found out later on as an adult that she got in so much trouble because I don't know if I hurt myself when I threw myself off the horse, but I think I did. And I definitely did leave the horse out there, which was very not safe for the horse. So there were a lot of like bad things that happened. I didn't get in trouble, but man, she got in big trouble.
Yeah. And as an adult, when you find out afterwards, you just want to look at your sibling and go,
It was so satisfying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm the technically the middle child. My identical twin sister, who's older by a minute, is the oldest. And then we have a younger brother who's 2 years younger than we are. And it's just always like, but we were never like that with him. We were, he was very well taken care of. Except for that one time, I think my sister tried to put a pillow over his head. See, it's always the oldest one. It's always the oldest one.
So I will say, I did choose. Now, there was a strategic reason. You say I didn't do the homework. I did the homework. I said I didn't do whatever. The homework. It's okay. I did it on the fly. It's fine. But it was strategic because every single one of my truths/lies, the reason I chose to talk about those is because I would love to narrate a book that has some of those aspects in it. I would like to narrate an adoptee main character. I would love to narrate an adoptee main character. So far, the closest I've gotten is I have auditioned for adoptee main characters, and I have landed the role of the sibling of an adopted character. So I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. I would love to be able to use Russian, the Russian language, in a book. I think that that would be a lot of fun. I'm still working on my Russian accent, but that does not mean that I do not speak or know Russian. I just don't have an accent when I do it right now. I'm learning it. I am learning it. And then, of course, the other thing is horses. Give me some horsey books, man. I was a horse girl growing up. I had
You need
horses.
some cowboys.
Well, yeah, or like literally equestrian shit. Give me some posh horse shit. I mean, I was a Western writer, but I can do anything. Give me some. I know the lingo.
Yeah.
Books.
I'm sure someone wrote a book where it's instead of like the girl going into the farm and falling in love with the cowboy, it's the guy, the city boy that falls in love with the
I can muck me some stalls and talk about sawdust and the horse's feet. I got this.
Yeah, exactly. He does, folks. He really does.
So like literally one of those things that I've learned is like sharing bits about yourself that you may not realize could help you past, but not everybody knows what picking a horse's feet means.
Oh yeah.
But I do. So like
it's one of those people sometimes are shocked at what people know about things and they just fly off the conversation. I'm like, why didn't I know that when I needed the thing a couple of months ago? It would have been helpful. Or that explains a lot, doesn't it? Yeah. So Russian and you speak it fluently?
Okay, without an accent, and I would say, so what I will say, my truth was I know Russian fluently, not I speak it fluently.
Okay.
Now, speaking is a little bit more difficult. That does not mean that I can't. You give me something to read, I can read it very, very clearly in Russian, but without the accent. So I would say I am pretty proficient and fluent in knowledge, comprehension. But speaking is just, if I'm just going to like say everything I'm saying to you right now, but in Russian, it would be much more slow. Yeah,
it's kind of like my Spanish. It's okay.
I could do it. I could write it out. I could give you a script. I could write out my script and then read it to you.
Yeah. So when you say accent, is it the kind of accent that we as non-speakers think of, the Russian accent? I'm going, strong like Russian bear.
I literally sound just like this.
Okay.
So like literally, I do have sometimes for my warm up for funsies. I have. Oh, hold on, give me 2 seconds. It's in here. Sometimes for funsies for my warm up, I read a book in Russian. I keep it in my booth. And I'm like, okay, we're just going to read some Russian out loud for a warm up. And I'll just be like, no, мы кто понимает, что такое жизнь. Мы, конечно, смеемся. Like, I'll just, because it's here and I can read and I got it. But it sounds, if you ask по-моему, I sound like this. Like, in my opinion, I sound a маленький принц. Понемногу я понял также. I think I still sound like this, personally. There's no actual, like, yeah. That was The Little Prince, by the way. That's just The Little Prince in Russian. I like that book. It's cute.
Well, it's the accent stuff. A lot of times people think that, especially when it comes down to own voices and we have characters that are from, South America, Central America, or they're from a different country, and then it comes with the accent. And I've also been a very advocate of like, well, you know what? Sometimes we don't have an accent of what we think of the typical Spanish speaking people. For example,
Yep.
I was born and raised in Miami. I have like a Miami accent. I guess is the best, closest thing as far as that goes. But a lot of times we don't have that, what we would think is a Spanish speaking accent when it comes down to the English. So
I feel like for me, it's going to be like, if it's romance, maybe I don't know, mafioso dude falls in love with the girl who his brother was teaching Russian in her university class. And that's me because I was learning, like I could maybe do that because I got that, right? Or maybe it's a nonfiction book where they're talking about the Russian influence on something in the world, and there's a lot of Russian words in it. I can pronounce those. I can read Cyrillic. Like there's a niche for even without the accent, knowing a language, I think, in this work. And that's not to say I won't have the accent. It's just not been my priority. I have gone to dialect coaching, but my priority has been a couple other accents that I do currently have like books in those.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of the narrators will bust out with, I need to learn how to have the X accent because in 2 more books,
Yeah.
that I'm recording, I need to have that accent down. I'm going,
So
okay.
when I get booked for a Russian accented character, that's when I'll probably go seek some dialect coaching.
Absolutely.
Until then.
Yeah. Well, girl, I can keep talking to you about all sorts of different things. So, but before we go, why don't you tell us what you're currently working on and anything that's coming up for you that you want to share with us?
Okay. What am I currently working on? I am currently working on my first few books with Brilliance Publishing. It's an Amazon company that does audiobooks and books and publishes books through their company, Brilliance. And so I'm really excited to be working with them. I am the ones that have been announced I can talk about, and those are by Amelia Finn. There is an 8-book series with Amelia Finn, an amazing romance author. Recently, in the last couple months, I've had a ridiculous amount of releases to include my first ever duets, 2 of which were, two of the 2 books were rom-com holiday books. I've never done holiday books, so that was fun. I also got to go to my first ever author signing release event with Candy Steiner for her book A Love Letter to Whiskey. It was my first time ever doing a signing event with an author, so that was a lot of fun. Coming up in the 2026 year, we have more live narration coming where I'll be doing some Omegaverse things, some shifter things, some sapphic things, which I'm very excited about. Also, Carmen got work. Okay, Carmen's got some horror and some cozy mystery coming. It's not all smutty smut romance smut. Unless you want to call it spice. Some people don't like the word smut. I get it. Spice. And I'll be going to a few events, of which I don't know which ones I can tell you I'm going to or not. I forget which ones have been announced, but I will be at a few events next year if anybody wants to say hey in person. And there's a booth coming. There's a booth.
You got to give us a booth tour once you have it settled. Yeah,
Okay.
once you have it all, But then again, that might be kind of fun to see you trying to assemble the booth.
You're not the first person somebody's like, "Are you going to live stream?" I'm like, "No, I'm going to make a fool of I can't even hang a curtain." And I wish I was joking. Like I remember, I had my dad on a freaking video call. This was years back, but I had him on a video call trying to help me put up a curtain. And I'm like, okay, I got the brackets in. Now what? He's like, okay, well now put the rod up. I'm like, okay, it's not long enough. So then I go and I get the different rod that's finally long enough to fit over, and I get it up there. And I'm like, oh, it works. Okay, now take it down and hang the curtain. Okay, hang the kit, put it up, and immediately they all fall. I literally, every step of the way, I was just like, there were so many holes in that wall just from, it was bad. I can't hang a curtain. Yeah, so I don't think anybody needs to see me set up the booth. Somebody said just do like a quick cut, just do a picture of the pieces, and then like of it set up. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. But I also kind of envision you having that where like, look, it came. Now we're going to assemble, and by we means I'm sitting here and they're making it.
I have no joke. There are people who are, I have friends.
Yeah, you're feeding them, aren't you?
They will be fed so very well. Yes, and they know this, and I'll lift things. I used to power lift. I will lift the heavy pieces.
Yeah, you'll move things for them.
I will move things. I will clear a space. You give me all your garbage. I'll be the best garbage girl ever.
Yeah.
But don't make me
Shame.
hammer anything together. Don't give me a level. It'll come out like that.
But like, Carmen, that's a great job. I didn't know it had an angle like that in your booth. Usually they're square and boxy.
I mean,
Why is
honestly,
there a triangle
my
here?
biggest fear is you spend so much money on a booth and then I get in it and it creaks. That's like no joke, my biggest fear, which is why I'm not putting that shit together.
Yeah.
The company that I got it from said that I've been in talks with them, but they're like, let us know the day that you plan on setting it up, and we can like set up a call with you to make sure that you're. I'm like, thank you, I need that. Even if it's not me doing it, I'll have them on speaker so I can supervise. My friends put it up.
The dude on the phone says.
Yeah, that's no joke. This is exactly what I think is going to be happening. He said that it needs to go there. Go there.
Yeah. Not too hard.
Yep.
So
this is why it will not be live streamed. This is why there will be no video.
Nope. Have fun with it, but but definitely you have to give us once it's done and you're all set up and you have everything nice and organized. You have to give us a booth tour.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I cannot wait. I'll be able to stand in my booth, which I cannot do right now because I'm in a Harry Potter closet.
Yeah. One day, folks. One day they'll invent a booth that will have AC and the mic does not pick that up. So one day, that way you guys are not sweating your asses off in those boxes. But until then, you got to get creative. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for hanging out and being here with me today. It's been so much fun.
Thank you so much for having me. And thanks for creating this platform to promote narrators, to promote romance, to promote us. And I love the fact that you've created this space for authors, for narrators, for creatives to be recognized through this and through Sultry listeners. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. And congratulations on the nominations. You have a few with the authors that you've worked with. So it's always great to see them. And then also, folks, complete this, transparency. I did go, Carmen or Aubrey?
Audrey, not Aubrey. It's
Audrey. I said Audrey. I said Carmen or Audrey. Which one do you want listed?
I was like, it can be both. It'll be
okay.
both.
All right. Because I wanted you to get your dues. So yeah. But thank you again for being here. It's been so much fun. If you're not already following her on socials, I will provide you with all the links. You guys don't have to go searching for them. And until next time, I'll be listening.
Thank you to all of our Audiobook Lovin Podcast Patreon. The Audiobook Lovin Podcast has special Patreon access levels. Join today to receive benefits including early access to episodes, shout-outs, special exclusive content, and much more. Support the podcast by becoming a Patreon at www.patreon.com/audiobookloving. We thank you for your support.
Thank you for joining us on the Audiobook Lovin Podcast, hosted by Viviana, Enchantress of Books. For links and more information discussed in today's episode, previous podcasts, or the Audiobook Lovin Series, please visit our website, vivianaenchantressofbooks.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a positive review wherever you listen to our podcast. Until next time, happy listening.